Yeah, here at Crochelle, we offer the full breadth of mechanical, electrical, and plumbing services. And it's not just the construction and installation side of things. We have a full MEP engineering staff in house with 6 licensed engineers, both on mechanical and electrical side. So when a client comes to us with sustainability goals and/or needs, we can facilitate everything from the engineering to achieve those goals to the actual installation. A lot of our competitors in the market don't offer all three trades. And on top of the MEP portfolio, we also offer building automation services, both recommissioning of building automation as well as new installation, and not just on a single platform. We offer multiple platforms across the industry, both on the proprietary side, but also on the open protocol backnet side. So, we can really work with the customer to either take that building that they're either going to build and really help them design it to maximum efficiencies, or we can take an old building and help that owner retrofit that building to provide greater efficiencies in terms of operations and maintenance to overall energy usage. Yeah, the by tying in the automation, sustainability, one of the big pillars in sustainability is optimizing energy usage. And the greatest ability to control energy usage is really in the world of building automation. You can buy and install the most efficient mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems available today. But if you can't get those systems to not only work in harmony, but to prioritize everything from heating and cooling to start and stop times of the day, nighttime setbacks, etc., you won't be able to fully maximize the energy efficiency of the design. So, the building automation is really like the conductor of the symphony. You've got a lot of instruments in the building, whether it be an air handler, a pump, a boiler, a chiller, or rather pieces of equipment, not instruments, but think of them like a musical instrument. And if all those instruments are working in harmony, the sound is beautiful. The energy usage is something that an owner is satisfied with. But if any one of those pieces of equipment, no different than if any instrument in a symphony is out of tune and not operating in conjunction with the surrounding equipment, things can get out of whack in a hurry, and energy consumption will climb quickly. The biggest sustainability goal I'm going to argue is always energy. Um, you get into sustainability and you get into space usage and reusage of materials and really green initiatives, but the biggest pillar that every owner, whether they're building a new building, whether they're trying to retrofit an old building, it's always energy consumption. And owners are smart. They understand that the more efficient they can drive that building, the greater amount of energy they're going to save, especially on a energy savings contract. If you've already got an existing energy footprint and you can authorize some capital expenditure and make some energy improvements and really get a return on investment on that capital. And in the world of energy, that can happen pretty quickly, especially if you start really maximizing building sequence of operations, again, with the use of a properly commissioned and operating building automation system. Well, there's a couple different ways. Obviously, we can drive energy savings. I think we've discussed that pretty good here. Other areas that we can really help sustainability goals, and another pillar, is indoor air quality, especially in the last 2 years with the pandemic and the big push for more outside air and ventilation. Indoor air quality is huge, not only for employee comfort and processes, but it's also for the overall health of the building. and to prevent mold growth and just longevity of the building itself. Um, the other thing that is a big pillar in the sustainability world is operations and maintenance. That is something that Crochelle provides as well. You can build the most efficient building in the world, but if the operators that maintain and operate that facility don't understand how the building was designed, and more importantly, how the building automation was programmed to run that building, um, costs can escalate rather quickly. We see that in the world of energy savings contracts. We come in with our partners, we make some significant changes, some significant improvements. The energy savings the first year or two are outstanding, but if the operations and maintenance uh, push and initiatives on behalf of the building side isn't in line with the overall approach to sustainability, then the efficiency of the building is going to drop, and over time, those energy savings are going to degrade. Overall, it'd be operating costs via operations and maintenance and or design. For instance, one of the concepts that we've seen deployed over the last 10, 15 years is capture, for instance, capture gray water off of a condensing coil or cooling coil in an air handling unit. Buildings use a lot of energy to produce air conditioning to keep us all comfortable, and you're always going to have condensate coming off that coil. Well, in a lot of buildings, especially those that deploy water cooled chiller and cooling tower infrastructure, you're going to have makeup water. So if you can capture that condensate coming off of a cooling coil and reuse that condensate as makeup water in a cooling tower system, now you're saving all the makeup water costs, and you also can apply for sewage credits because you're not dumping as much water down the sewer on a blowdown. Ultimately, indoor air quality is a big one, and then even lighting. When you get into the world of energy savings, especially in an existing building, a lot of the lighting infrastructure is outdated, and nowadays with the LED lighting, not only is the operating cost significant if you change those fixtures out, but some of the newer lighting is also more comfortable for employees. And if employees are more comfortable, whether it be from better ventilation, they're more awake, more alert, more productive, and or if they're more comfortable from the lighting, they're less likely to have fatigue throughout the day. And again, it maintains a high level of productivity from an employment side. You look at the pandemic and how quickly this coronavirus can spread from person to person. Indoor air quality is absolutely huge. And to your point, the better ventilation that you have, the less likely you're going to pass a virus around within an office environment, and you'll maintain a higher day-to-day attendance of employees. Yeah, I mean, we've got a few in the past. For instance, probably about 15 years ago, United States Air Force medical facilities, a lot of those facilities were aging, and the big push was to get those facilities upgraded to not only maintain a better environment for our warfighters today, but also to carry those buildings for another 30, 40 years as existing infrastructure. So the first step that the Air Force Medical decided to do was to put metering, energy metering, in all the buildings across the United States and even some of the ACONUS sites. So as capital improvements and repair replacement projects were exercised, the ROI for those improvements could be measured. And in doing so, I think we helped them in at least half a dozen buildings achieve Energy Star within the first 5 years of putting in the metering and then making capital improvements, whether it be air handling replacements, or the biggest ones being building automation, recommissioning, and or replacement. Another example of some recent sustainability projects that we've done is over the last 2 years, we've been helping the University of Illinois here in Chicago uh, go through all the air handling equipment across the campus, rebalancing and recommissioning outside air dampers and control valves to not only sustain a better indoor air quality for all the facilities for the students and staff, but also to improve energy footprint for those buildings by recommissioning the air handling equipment. The biggest question any owner would have to ask is of the sustainability goals, which is the most important? And from our experience, it's usually energy consumption more than anything else, because that is the long tail that building is going to have as that owner commits, to 10, 20, 30 years of that facility. And so decisions made today are really going to drive long-term operating costs, and energy is almost always number one.